not all the blame for it, okay? Because I think there's a lot of things. I think the Earth is slightly off its axis. I think we might be, just who knows what's going on with the Earth. But we got that going on, plus what we have done all these years, the pollution of cars, trucks, airplanes, you smoking cigars, or me smoking cigars, hairspray cans, all this type of stuff through the years. We have brought some of this on ourselves. You can't blame it on the cows out in the field farting, can you?
I don't know. I know 5% of it you can blame on termites for the methane gas. But it doesn't matter. The totality of everything together, it does have an effect between people, animals, our pollution, whatever. And I think it goes through a process anyway. Every so many thousand years, there'll be an ice age or there'll be droughts or whatever. And that causes a lot of changes. Now, I do know that the Earth totality of temperature change within just 5-6 degrees could cause a lot of problems.
Oh yeah, and I think we're not going into a mini ice age. I think what's going to happen is it's going to happen, and it's going to happen really, really fast. And I think it's going to be in a situation where it could happen like one day overnight.
Oh boy, that would be see that. Now you're giving me nightmares again. But yeah, and a lot of people
don't worry about it. Don't worry about it, James. Just go to bed and put the blanket over your head, like some people in Washington D.C. certainly do.
Yeah, and another thing I was just going to say, the ocean currents, they actually regulate and control a lot of our weather and temperature. And if those are off just a little bit too, boy, it can really, Florida could end up one day be like Canada. Now, wouldn't that be something?
Well, it could be a lot worse than that because it could be all underwater, and Canada isn't underwater. Think about that, because the level of a lot of Florida is at sea level. So when that sea level keeps going up, I mean, you start losing, property. And that's what the scary part is, but we don't have to worry about it. It's all in our imagination.
Yeah, it's in the Matrix.
Yeah.
We're just playing it out. That's all.
Hey, go
ahead.
Well, we got to run some commercials. So you want to mute your mic and let me, we got to go on break for about 2.5 minutes. We'll be right back with James. And then I got a special phone call coming in from a small radio station. And we're going to get some updates on cryptic creatures right here in a few minutes.
You are all Everybody's voting for the friendly voice of radio, the people's choice. Music, weather, sports, and news, it's radio. The people choose. Everybody's swinging to the swinging voice of radio, the people's choice. Big fry, small fry, dawn to dawn, it's radio that turns them on.
You can advertise your business on Night Dreams Talk Radio, and you will be heard worldwide. Why not contact us at nightdreamstalkradio@gmail.com.
If you would like to hear Night Dreams Talk Radio on your local radio station, let them know. Tell them to check out www.nightdreamstalkradio.com and
perde tempo escolhendo uma roupa, porque no fim eu sei que vou tirar. Fala tchau pro seu batom na boca e fala oi pra quem te faz pirar. Se você já tá com a mesma sensação, pode vir, gente, que eu tô um vulcão. Tá descontrolada toda essa tara e não para porque a coisa ficou mara. Vou te ganhar no cansaço, no cansaço, no cansaço. Vamos fazer um regaço, um regaço, um regaço. Colarinha dos amassos, amassos, amassos. Vamos fazer um regaço, um regaço, um regaço. pro seu batom na boca e falar oi pra quem te faz pirar. Se você...
You are listening to Night Dreams Talk Radio Network, from our compound to you worldwide, with your host, Gary Anderson.
And that is me. We're talking with my co-host for the first hour with James Krischbaum. And hey, James, you staying out of trouble, my friend?
Yes. As long as nobody knows I'm doing something bad, I'm still good, right?
As long as you don't get caught, you don't want to do that. But, you know, that a lot of things out there are scaring me, Wise. I mean, you know, people are talking about they're seeing these big flying creatures and stuff. You know, I think what's happening is because the magnetic field is changing drastically. The birds that they're not like penguins, not penguins. What do you call these huge birds? Cranes and stuff. Yeah, cranes and stuff like that. They see these things flying. They don't know what they are because they're not used to be, you know, seen in that area. And people are freaking out and thinking, oh, look at that giant prehistoric bird. I think it's just even little birds. It's crazy. I haven't seen a lot of birds I normally do this beginning of spring and through summer that I normally do where I live at. I think they're going to other areas. But I'll tell you one thing. I got a couple owls all of a sudden on my property. And you ought to hear them at night.
Uh-oh. You remember a lot of alien abductees see owls, and we've often talked, has the aliens put that vision in their heads, or do they disguise themselves as owls? Or maybe they're trying to talk to you, Gary.
Well, maybe they are aliens, but on the other hand, I hear a coyote or two now at night, and I haven't heard a coyote in my area probably in about 15 years.
Now, was it a coyote, or was it maybe a Bigfoot copying a coyote?
Oh, maybe some neighbor beating his wife. I'm not sure.
Maybe. Jeez.
Okay, I'm waiting for a phone call from my good friend Sam, who runs a small station up in Washington State that is basically a little local station. It covers a small community. It's a community out in the forest, right next to what they call the White River. And they run that little radio station. They just got up and, you know, running here in the last month or so. And it also is streaming it out through the internet. So I'm waiting for them to call. But, yeah, here they are. Well, let's get them on. Let's get them on. Hey, Sam, how you doing, my friend?
Hello?
Well, you staying out of trouble?
Absolutely.
Well, that's good. Any news on any cryptics around the area in the last couple weeks? Anything new?
Actually, yes. I had an opportunity to go camping the Labor Day weekend. And we had, it was kind of weird because we had just 3 people, actually just me and my friend the first night. It was a little strange because I usually sleep pretty good. And I was in the tent, and for some strange reason, I had a nightmare, and I normally don't. Okay, and so what happened was I was laying there, and I thought I had a dream that I was actually laying there, and I actually had a experience of where I felt like something was pushing the tent in on me, like on the side of the tent. So I just laid there. I mean, this is almost like real life for me.
Uh-huh.
And so, you know, I'm not going to react to this. It'll go away. Then all of a sudden I start seeing the tent's collapsing on the one side like something else is pushing it in. And then all of a sudden it's like the whole tent's wrapping around me on my cot, my sleeping bag. And I scream. I wake myself up and everything's normal. I never have nightmares like that. Not at all. And it's just very weird that happened. But the following night, that was a Friday night. Saturday, everything was copacetic and slept pretty good. However, on Sunday, our friend came up. And he chose to sleep in his Jeep. And I had the tent over there, and my other friend had a tent. And as we were laying there, as we were sleeping, he just happened to notice about 4:30 or 5 o'clock in the morning while it was still dark a little bit. All of a sudden he looked, and there was a light that appeared by the tree. It was almost like a very bright light beam or some kind of light. And there was this really dark silhouette of a Bigfoot. And what it normally was doing was shifting back and forth, next to this light. And it lasted for a little bit. My friend was just in awe of this, and he just said, "Oh, hey," and then it just disappeared. And it was right next to my tent. I didn't wake up during it, but my friend doesn't fabricate stories, because he's actually an IT person just like myself, and so we thought that was pretty amazing. So that's the most recent thing I've encountered.
I would have been scared, you know what? I mean, seriously, I'm not brave like you are. I mean, seriously, I don't want to see another Bigfoot long as I live, let alone, I've seen these movies where, the Bigfoot just tears open a tent and grabs the person out and starts eating them. No way.
Well, I don't expect that experience. It'd be the only time it happened, obviously. That'd be history. But I usually, the fear isn't there, so that helps a lot.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, I do have the fear. I'm a coward. I mean, like I've told you, Sam, before, I have not even I haven't been into the woods. Now, I got almost 2 acres of cedar trees, okay? But then on the other side of the cedar trees, there's a road, and I got neighbors. I'm not worried about a Bigfoot being out there. But I tell you, I've not gone into any state park, any national forest. I haven't gone any place where, any creepy things could come out and get me.
Now,
well,
Sam,
yeah,
I was just going to say, Sam, how you doing? This is James. When you were out there, did you notice any little figures, little people also?
Oh, no, not this time. I usually have these encounters in a specific area only because they know me. It's actually it actually has a lot to do with the fact that there's familiarity with me being in a certain area, and that's when there's a high probability that they'll show up.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So how's things going on in the studio?
Oh, pulling my hair out.
I'm still
and I got a lot of hair to pull out, but I don't want to pull it out. It's just getting organized, getting professional, getting things set up, and especially broadcasting the Night Dream show, and getting more professional touch before too many listeners start listening in. But it's a work in progress. Let me put it that way.
Yeah,
trying to figure out how to automate everything, and it's coming together. It's coming together for a little mountain community here.
Well, you know what? Even after a year from now, it'll still keep coming together because it's been coming together for me for over 2 years. Every week I find, I could do something. I don't know if you noticed any difference in my voice here tonight. I've already had a couple people email me and said, "Hey, your voice is a lot deeper." I added some more equipment, and I just because I feel better the last couple of days. And I had
that had a lot to do with it.
Yeah, and I had these 2 boxes of equipment. It's been sitting for 4.5 months, sitting in my studio. So I decided to add another speech processor in, and I think it lowered my voice. Hopefully down where it sounds better. I hope.
Yeah, it does. You do sound a lot. Yeah, I can tell the difference.
Well, I'll find out on the replay here tonight when I can sit back and listen to it.
Yeah. So, Sam, I was just going to ask, what's your future plans for any expeditions coming up, or what's your plans?
A lot of the stuff that I've done has just been private research and private relationships with these beings out here. I have a small group of people that are normally associated with this little area here in Greenwater. Two people in particular, a friend named Anita, and then Barb Shoup, who's had numerous experiences. We have a small group of people that actually have about 4 different regular campouts in a year. And every